Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm JJ the Bearded Bookworm, and today I once again have a special guest, my wife Victoria. We just got done filming the Blindfold Book Challenge, and so I wrangled her into filming a TBR with me for December. Alright, so the first book for this month is I am going to be finishing up The Eye of the World. I got about halfway and put it down. It was kind of putting me into a slump. It just wasn't, the first part kind of wasn't doing it for me until Trollocs showed up. And so I'm going to finish it because now they've showed up and it's gotten more exciting, but I did have to put it down for a minute. But I'm going to finish this before jumping into the Malazan read-along that starts in January.
My first one is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is just a psychological thriller. There's not much else I can say about it. It came highly recommended, I believe. I don't know if it was Neeks or if it was someone else, but they talked about this book. And I just reading about the story sounds
What's
really
it about?
interesting. Sydney Green is Brooklyn.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm not good at descriptions. You know this. I can't even do book reviews. People are like, did she read the book or did she just read the back of the book?
It's about a guy in medieval garb. Alright, so my next pick is my sci-fi pick for December. And a couple months ago in a video, I kind of just left a link in there for books that I had that I wanted to know what everybody wanted to see me read and review. And I kind of split that up between fantasy and sci-fi. In the sci-fi books, basically I'm just going through each series by what got the most votes. So the first book of that is Binti, and this is actually the entire trilogy. I think there's an extra novella in this edition. But in December, I'm going to read this whole thing. I've tried to read it once before, but I think when I, for whatever reason, like usual, when I sit down to read, kids interrupted me like 7,000 times. So I never actually got into the book.
I think there was also another book that you really, really wanted to read at that time. I can't remember
Probably.
what it was.
But definitely going to be reading it this coming month. It's about like first contact with aliens, and it follows Binti. I don't know what the entire like trilogy is about other than that, but this is definitely in that realm of like very highly recommended sci-fi books.
I just want to point out, this is how it came from Amazon, and that really upsets me, that it's like smudge. Somebody be eating their Hot Pocket while packaging my book. I'm really upset about it. Anyway, I haven't tried to clean it, but... Okay, so my next book is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. And how I've heard this book explained, I'll do a little bit better than the other ones. This one's like a darker, like a dark school of magic. So it's like a darker Harry Potter-ish type story. So I'm really excited. This is the first in, I'm pretty sure, like a whole series that she's working on. This one just came out in October. So I'm really excited to read this one. I wanted to read it a couple months ago, and I've kind of gone on a, after I finished Children of Blood and Bone, I went into like a post-book depression, and I really haven't picked up anything since. So I'm really excited to read this book.
All right, so my next book is Shadow in the Empire of Light. This was sent to me by the publisher. The book's actually out as an ebook right now, but the physical form of this book comes out in January, so I want to make sure I get a jump on it, get it read, get a review up in time for when that does release. From what I understand, it's about an orphan girl who has been living with her aunt, and she has no magic, but she's a part of a family that, you know, everybody has magic except for her. The aunt dies, and then, you know, the family swarms, and it becomes like this murder mystery kind of thing. Like she's having to navigate what everybody's intentions are and everything like that. Sounds really intriguing, especially, like a murder mystery with magic. I might be completely off on that, but that's kind of my impression of the book. It's really short too. It's only, under 300 pages. So I might actually be able to read this one.
My next book is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is about a 16-year-old girl who, basically all I know, she gets powers. This was highly recommended by Neeks when it was like first coming out. She got a advanced copy, is what it's called. And she like highly recommended it as soon as she read it. So I bought it literally as soon as it came out. I was gonna read it in August when I was doing the Tropical Readathon, but I had like 16 books I had to read that month, and I think I only got through like 6. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this one back up this month, so I'm really excited about it.
All right, so my next pick is the Shelf Space Book Club pick for December. My friend Alan is co-hosting that readathon or read along as well. It is for Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. This is kind of like a French Revolution inspired fantasy book. This is the first book of a trilogy, and then there is a sequel trilogy after that. But I don't know a ton about it, other than the magic system is the magic users snort gunpowder to gain their abilities. So that sounds horrifyingly painful and awesome. So we'll see how this goes. This has been on my list since the beginning of the year, but it now being the Shelf Space Book Club pick, finally giving me the push to pick it up and actually read it.
My last book is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis, I'm pretty sure. It is a mix between Phantom of the Opera and The Greatest Showman, which are my 2 favorite musicals that, like, ever. I think this one was also just recently released this year as well. Like, in the last few months was released. I could be totally wrong. But I'm really excited to read this one. And yeah, there's not much else I know about it other than that. So
when I'm the one that first heard about it, and I told Victoria about this book, it took her like 30 minutes to get pulled up, but I mean, she immediately bought it. Yeah. It was ridiculous. So the last book on my TBR that I am placing on the list is Jade City by Fonda Lee. From what I understand, it's been like hundreds of years. Most like wars and everything have been decided by these green bone warriors. Basically, they're people that have the ability, they're born with the ability to use jade to gain specific powers depending on their bloodline or whatever. They're born with a very, jade interacts with them in a specific way, super strength, speed, things like that. But this is now in the kind of modern, like 80s-ish kind of level of technology, recent modern. And the story centers on 2 main crime families that are rivals and are basically fighting for power over jade, because if you control the jade, you control everything. And so there's not a whole lot I know besides that. I've very much stayed away from getting anywhere near spoilers other than that. Feels like a really fun, refreshing fantasy story that's not like, sword and sorceries, but it's a modern, and it's not like Kings or anything like that. It's very much like I believe it's more of like a crime family's Godfather-esque story with magic. So I'm super excited. The 3rd book in the trilogy comes out, I think, September. So I've got plenty of time if I, goof this up again and, don't read the books on my TBR list. But really excited. Definitely want to read it. It's been making massive waves on BookTube for the last 6 months, especially. But definitely excited to read it. So, like I said, Jade City was the last book that I placed on my TBR. Now, we just got done filming the blindfold book challenge, and it went very poorly.
Lost.
Like real bad. Not good. Not good. So my penance. So my
Your penance.
Yeah, that's what I was. So my penance for not knowing the books on my bookshelf is I get the privilege of reading Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer.
Dun.
I've read Twilight and
Hated it.
did not like it. Not even a little bit. So I'm super excited to read it about the creepy vampire dude that stalks a girl for months before
it's a beautiful love story.
Stop talking to her, you know. It's like You without the killing, but all the obsession. So I said this in the challenge video, but also let me know, do you guys want me to kind of do like a vlog of me giving my thoughts on this probably wonderful book? Or do you just want a review at the end with my thoughts? I have until February 1st to finish that book, and I'm not looking forward to any bit of that. But anyway, there you go. There is Victoria's very reasonable TBR for December. There's my normal kind of, I'm pushing my limits. Honestly, it's not that bad if we take away Midnight Sun, which I will ignore. And I only got to read half of Eye of the World, so
okay.
I think I probably can actually finish all of these this month, despite what I said in November. But
do you have audiobooks for any of them? Because that's usually how you get through them quick.
Maybe I might be able to get Binti and maybe some of these other ones. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. But let me know down in the comments what you guys are reading in December. Are you reading any of the same books that we are? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. I'm JJ the Bearded Bookworm. Thanks for doing another video with me, Victoria. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.